Welcome to Creating Disney Magic with Lee Cockerell. Lessons in leadership, management, and customer service. You can create magic too. I'm your host, Jody Mayberry, and I'm here with Lee Cockerell, the retired executive vice president of Walt Disney World. Lee, how have you been?
Hi there. Good. All's well. We're
Wh-
getting into fall and looking forward to it.
Yes, well, the fall rain has started here, which in the Northwest, there's a difference between fall rain, winter rain, and spring rain. And our
Yeah.
fall rain has started. Lee, I did something recently I just have to tell you about. Many years ago, 2017, you introduced me to Jesse Cole, owner of the Savannah Bananas, and I got to go to a Bananas game for the first time because they were on their world tour. They were in Seattle, 2 nights at T-Mobile Arena where the Seattle Mariners play. They sold out both games, what, 47,000 people both nights. And I have to tell you, Lee, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. It is what Jesse Cole has created is just incredible. It's all about the fans. It's all about entertainment. It's about a great time for families, and there happens to be a baseball game going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's amazing what he's produced from that little Savannah team to going nationwide. And I know I've seen a lot of posts online and watched some of the parts of the games online when they're advertising and promoting, and seeing him on one of the main channels on being interviewed one morning. So he's done great. We're happy for him. And he's even
Yeah,
where he owns the team. He has so
yeah, that's
part of it.
right.
Yeah.
They've got 4 teams now, about to expand to six, about to announce a big tour for next year. Like what they're doing is amazing. And they were just on the Tonight Show. They're just showing up everywhere. It is so great to see. But since you introduced me to Jesse that long ago, I just thought I should tell you I finally went to a game and it was worth it. And Jesse did say he wants you to get out to one of the games sometime. So we'll have to go to one when it's in Florida.
Yeah, good deal. Thanks.
Yeah. All right, Lee. So I was looking at something that you wrote. It's in a volume of the Main Street Leader, volume 44. You're talking about you had a job interview and you did poorly on that job interview. Then you went on to write, today I've learned to tell people what I can do for them in great detail, what my strengths are, what they can expect from me, and what I'm good at. And when I read that, I thought, well, we need to talk about that because I think if you explain how you do that, I think that will help a lot of people sell themselves in interviews and otherwise, because I feel like it's important for you to be able to talk about this, even about the work that you do. Most people are not good about talking about themselves. So we can walk through those points, Lee, and maybe you can offer some good advice on just how to brag about yourself, how to talk about the work that you do with confidence and with comfort.
Yeah, well, I think progressively over your career or over my career, I've learned more. So I know I have a lot of experience, which you want to make sure that the employer knows you actually have done it. You have the experience. I've had a lot of exposure, which I want to talk about if I was talking to a client or interview. I've been around. I've been around the world. I've understand clearly how to treat people as individuals, to understand professionalism. I worked in some great places where I had mentors that taught me the right way to look professional, be professional, act professional. And at the end of the day, I think what the employer wants to know more than anything else is, what can you do for me? How can you help my business? How can you help my bottom line, my profit, lower my turnover, hire better people, improve the product? And I told my granddaughter, Margot, I said, Margot, make sure you put on your resume something like, when somebody asks you, what can you do for me? You can just say, I get it done. Whatever you get me, I get it done. I may do it myself. I may get somebody else to do it, but you won't have to worry about it because I will be on it. I'll stay on it until it's done well, and I will spend time all the time getting better at what I do. I like to read. I like to go to seminars. I like to go online. I like to learn. And so I'll keep up. And that those are, it's just a basic thing. And I think most people sit there and just answer questions about, what were your goals? People ask me what my goals were back in some interviews, and I said I didn't have any. My goals to keep my job, which makes, and how do you do that? Well, I'll tell you how I do it. I'm reliable and I have a good attitude. And if I don't know how to do something, I'll find somebody that does. But I'll take care of you, employer, and I will make your life easy. You won't have more hassles because you've hired me. You'll have less, and you'll have. So I think that's just the kind of thing we try to get. I was talking to a guy earlier today. It's going for an interview, and he was way overthinking it. What are the things he could say exactly? And he could. You don't want to manipulate the interview. Just be honest. Here's what I can do. Here's how I work. Here's what I believe in. If that fits with your organization, I'm looking forward to coming with you because I think I can help you. And you're a great company. I enjoy it. I want to work with you. I know your reputation, and I hope you make the decision to hire me. Ask for the job. At the end of their interview, they're going to say, "You have anything else?" And I said, "Yeah, hire me. I'm ready to go to work, and I have the skills, I have the attitude, and I have the reliability, which are the three things you need." Because most people are not reliable, and a lot of people don't have a 100% great attitude every single day. So there you go. I mean, it's a way to think.
Yeah, it's interesting. And to give more context, this interview that Lee did, he really didn't promote himself. He didn't talk much about himself. He it was they told him he was too low key during the interview. And had he not had an advocate for just pushing him to get that position, who had enough influence to make it happen, he may not have got that role. And I will admit, Lee, being a Midwestern middle child, I've spent most of my life thinking if you show up and you do good work, the right people will notice. And that's not as true as I would like it to be. You
No.
you you have to be really good at promoting yourself. But I will say, Lee, that it is not uncommon over the last 10, 11 years where I'll talk to someone and they'll say, "Oh, Lee Cockerell says really good things about you." And I will say that helps. That helps when Lee Cockerell says good things about you. But on balance, it doesn't always work to just show up and do a good job and the right people will notice because people are so wrapped into what they're doing, they're not really going to notice the good work you're doing. And that's why I think this was worth an episode because you have to be able to on short notice, even like an elevator ride. You always hear about elevator speeches. Well, what do? You're going from the lobby to the seventh floor with the president of the company. And he says, "Tell me about what you do." Well, that's a really rare chance to get to talk about the work that you do. What are you going to say? Because you want to be able to say something with confidence.
And I think that's right. And I think you need to know what you know and to think about it. The other day somebody said, what I was in that speech down in San Antonio, and somebody said, "What do you think the most important things are as a leader in running my company?" And I said, "Hire them right, train them right, and treat them right. You'll be fine." Because I've got that boiled into my brain because it's something I learned. I believed I learned it from somebody else, and not that those. I always knew those three things, but I didn't know how to say them like that. Which people go, "Whoa, that's good." And I told the guy also, make sure you have planning time every morning. Plan your plan and work your plan and take 15, 20 minutes before you start your day and get your act together and know what you're going to do today, tomorrow, and the next day. And then surround yourself by the right people that are trained and feel like they're special and you've taken care of them. I mean, those are like short little pow, pow, pow. And that's because if you know what you believe in, you can say it. So it's good for everybody to think about if somebody's going to ask you a question, What would the answer be? And today I don't even think about it because I've thought about these things so much for so long that it just comes out because I do believe them. And you got to really work on your own beliefs and then execute on them for years and years and years. And then it's who you are. It's not just you trying to manipulate somebody, it's who you are. And you know who you are, and you can say who you are and how you will affect the organization that you join. And you'll make people believe you. You'll be believable.
I have told people my absolute favorite thing about having a podcast is that when you have to show up every week with something to say, you start to realize what you believe and how to talk about it. And,
And
and not many of us without a podcast get the chance to shape things so well. And and I think, okay, don't maybe you don't start a podcast, but just start maybe talking more about the work that you do, even if it's a recording just for yourself or write it down or whatever. I do think if you look at these four things Lee said, what I can do for them in great detail, what my strengths are, what they can expect of me, and what I am good at. Just take those four and answer those. Write it out, talk about it. If you can just take those, you will start to understand what you believe in the about the work you do and about yourself and how to talk about it. Lee, I remember many years ago, Lee said, I really like this podcast. You're getting me ready to be on national television. And he said it as a joke. But since then, when things happen at Disney, Lee's one of the people that gets called by the news stations and say, Lee, give us your opinion. So, Lee, I know long before you met me, you had shaped your leadership thoughts because you had taught courses, you had written the Main Street Diary, you had done so much. But how do you think talking about what you do and what you believe every week has helped in this area that we're talking about?
well, there's no doubt repetition is the name of the game. If you love something, you love doing it. I would do this. There's some of it. People tell me, "Why do you do this? You're retired. Why don't you just go lay on the couch?" And I said, "Because I enjoy it, and I love the idea that people appreciate it, and that when I get these notes from people saying, 'Wow, that was great, and I learned a lot, and here's what I did, and my life has turned out better,' you got to like that. So when you become an expert in something, which takes time, but if you focus on it every day and read about it, go to seminars and learn about it, you will become an expert, whatever you decide to become an expert in, and people, you will be believable. That's the key in life. When you're a teacher, it's about being believable. It's not about just producing the content, because we all know, a lot of people go to seminars, workshops, read a book, and they don't ever do anything. They don't have the discipline to follow through and start. And so it takes that, get the knowledge and the discipline to implement, because the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And eventually people will know you're the go-to person. So you become what you want to become. And it's never too late to get started. You need to get with it. Yeah.
Yeah, great advice. And I think when you become an expert, people know if I want time management advice, I'm reaching out to Lee Cockerell. People know if I'm going to travel and I need some help with that, I'm going to reach out to Magical Vacation Planner, which you can do. You reach them at 407-442-2694. Maybe even they can help you luck out and get to a Savannah Bananas game, although it's very hard to get tickets. They have a 3 million person waiting list for tickets, Lee. It's just crazy. It's in such demand, but it's because they're experts at playing banana ball, I guess, and entertaining, putting fans first. So, yes, call our friends at Magical Vacation Planner next time you want to travel because they are the experts when it comes to travel, just like Lee is an expert in time management. And we've talked about time management quite a bit today. So, let me direct you towards cockerellstore.com for two reasons. The time management magic course is there. It's always been our best selling course we've ever done. And there's a good reason for that. And also, you can get the morning magic planner. It's free. Use it for 30 days and you will approach your day completely different. Thank you for a great conversation, Lee. And if you have a question or a topic you'd like us to talk about on the show, send either one of us an email, lees@leecockerell.com. I'm at jodymayberry.com. Until next week, go out and create magic for others.